We're recording. Okay. So we're in the sales module, and oh, Tracy, we do not. Are you saying you do not know how to get to this screen right here that I'm on currently? Wow. Okay, let's go back one farther. I'll go ahead and close this window. So this is this is my desktop. But somewhere, see this icon in the very bottom? So let me ask this question here. This icon at the very bottom that's red and black that my mouse is kind of circling over at the very, very bottom. Hopefully you can see that. Does everyone have that icon either there or, let me go down a little bit. Yeah, hit the Windows or under IDS G2. So I'm kind of pausing there for a second. I guess what it is if anybody, okay, I'm going to assume that's for everyone. So, Tracy, you're the only one answering me, so I get to pick on you. Do you at least have this icon somewhere? Okay, you do have the icon. Okay. What I'm going to do is give this demo, and then I'm going to send an email out probably, let's say, a half hour after we end, saying, please try to log on now. And I'm going to make sure y'all are set up. So everyone on this call, if you can, just kind of look for my email. Well, I'll remind myself. When I end this call, after showing you what we're going to show you, then I will send an email to everyone in this meeting saying try now, and and try now, and then see if you can log on to G2. So I'll start from scratch. And now, if this icon is not either on your taskbar or you can't find it here under ISG2 folder, then get a hold of Andres. Yes, I apologize for saying his name wrong. Camacho. So if you don't have this red icon either in your Windows pin menu or on your taskbar, get a hold of Andres immediately and say, hey, I don't have the program to log on to. But what I'm going to do is make sure that everyone can log on once your log on works. Okay, so I'm going to click on it. So we'll just start from very scratch. When I launch it, this is what I get. You put in your password. I guess that's the next step. We'll have to find out, do you have passwords or not? But I guess we'll find out. So this is truly going to be a tour.
So
by the way,
hello?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Eric and Katie.
Okay.
Is this training going to be in front of their computer or as like a group setting?
This training is what's going on right now.
I know, but should they be sitting in front of their computer or like in a classroom?
It doesn't matter. Wherever they can see the screen, it does not matter.
We're logging in right now. We're having some computer error problems here, and as soon as we get logged in, we'll be catching up with you.
Okay. And actually, he brought up a good point. I would actually, again, because I'm recording it, I would actually just watch it. I wouldn't, even if you do have access, I'm not sure it'd be a good idea to try to mimic what I'm doing, because again, I'll send you the recording. And two, there are training videos that you actually should have already got a link on that is going to go over everything I have also. So you have our canned training videos that goes every single module. Then you're going to have this video covering what we're talking about today. And then you're also going to have the training, what we're doing right now. So you'll have kind of a 3-thing exposure to it.
Perfect.
Okay, so let me launch CRM. That's where we're going at. and this brings you to your home screen. Now, a couple things that you won't remember, but the person next to you might, is that when you first launch it, you're going to come to up here. It's going to say default, and it just kind of look like a little funky screen. What I want you to do is once you log on and you come to the default, is find the one that has your initials. So let me pick on Kaylee. So when Kaylee Alvarez logs on, she is going to come to this funky looking default. What I want her and all of you all to do is hit the drop down and select the one that has your initials by it. And there's only one. And you click on the, like her, KA, she'll click on KA, my home screen. And then this is the one that we have built for you. So let me do that really slow. When you log on to G2, you are going to come to this screen. In the sales module, your first step is launch CRM. The next step is it's going to default to the default, is what it defaults to. Now let me use Kelly because I don't want to use me because I'm me. So like Kelly and everyone else, when Kelly logs on, the first time she's going to come to default, and all she and you have to do is hit the drop down and select the one with your initials. And that's the one that's been pre-built for you. We're actually going to add one more to this, but that's for another conversation. Okay, before I hit all these little things down here, let me talk this first bar up here. Up here, we have 5 managers. We have your opportunity manager, your lead manager, your contact manager, your activity manager, and then the one we're currently looking at is your home manager. So that's how you navigate between your 2 managers that you will be learning about today. This is your action button. And when you want to put something in the system, this is where you're going to go. Click on new contact. Persona view will be more than likely grayed out on everybody on this call. That's impersonation, like I'm impersonating, and I hope I'm saying her name right, Kaylee. I think I'm saying it right. I'm impersonating her, so that will probably be grayed out because you won't have that permission to do that. Over here is your various view definitions that have been built for you. Now there's quite a few here right now, and you'll see quite a few, but very shortly, all you're going to be seeing is 2, the one that says default and the one that has your initials. All these other ones will be going away very quickly. But for setup purposes, we left them in there for right now. But anyway, what I want you to do is grab the one with your initials. Over here is the save button. Over here is a trash can. Over here's Excel. Export to Excel will probably be grayed out. View add. This will be for advanced and probably be 6 months from now before we go over that. But you can make your own custom views and then make your own custom home screen. But for right now, a good best practice, use what we built, which has been built by salespeople. So this is what salespeople wanted. So hopefully it works well. And last but not least, well, actually not last but not least, but products. When you click here on that steering wheel, this will bring up your inventory. And by default, if you can look at this left-hand corner here, it's going to default to whatever location you're logged into. So right now it's HRHN. But if I want to see all inventory, click right here, hit search, and then I see all 30,000, I think it was. Hit search again. Oh, it's hanging out. There you go. 3,000. And if I change it back to Katie, which I believe is this one, and Katie has 1,100 units. So bottom line is, one thing I wish we could, but we can't. You can either look at your store's inventory or all. You can't pick and choose. 1 out of 2, 3 out of the 6 locations. It's all locations or just one location. A couple of things you need to be aware of. Let me delete this one. I did this yesterday. When you log on to this view, this is going to give you the default view. So if you can kind of look in the upper right-hand corner, it says default. And there's some fields you do need and some fields you don't need. So how do you customize? Like flooring company, flooring maturity date, you don't need those. So I'm right-clicking right here, and that's going to bring up this mini menu called Hide Show. Now I could have clicked anywhere. Let me click over here. I'm again right-clicking. It doesn't matter where I right-click on the header bar. just somewhere on the header bar. Once you click on hide show, what is clicked, you're seeing. What is not checked, you're not seeing. So as a salesperson, you don't need to know the flooring company. You don't need the flooring maturity date, but exterior color would be nice. List price, web price would be nice. Interior color, chassis number, you may or may not. Depends on you. See how it shows the chassis number. And I'll keep going down here. Bottom line, everyone on here that you see, length would probably be a very good one. Lot would be an excellent one. Bottom line, check what you want to. Now, once you get done checking what you want to, put your cursor up here in view name and type in your name. My name's Mark, so I type in Mark. Now I'm using the Mark view. So just kind of customize it how you want to look at it. A couple other things you can do is you can make the fields wider. Like I can't read what this column header is. So if I put my mouse right here and left click and hold, I can make it a little bit bigger. I can make that a little bit bigger. And all I'm doing is left click holding and dragging it over so I can see the column header up here. But make sure you hit save. Otherwise, what you just did won't be changed. So make the year a little bigger. So first thing you can do is you can select which columns you want to see, which ones you don't. The second thing you can do is adjust them to whatever width you want to adjust them to for whatever reason you want them to. And like that lot one, that would be a very good one to put by location. So I'm going to go over here and grab lot. Now I'm going to left click and hold on the header bar. And now I'm going to drag to the right. Oh, sorry, drag left. So left click and hold. And see that dark box or whatever you want to call it? It's just kind of following my mouse. And I just dragged it over here and I released. And now I have the lot location next to the GL location. Again, make sure you hit save. So GL location is where it's stocked. The lot location, again, depending on your company, but that's like that's at Home Depot. It's at the show. You have it at different places, so you can keep track of where a certain unit is, if that's what you guys do. So just kind of be aware that's what the field lot is for. So that's the second thing you can do. You can move your columns back and forth. The third thing you can do is, let's say I want to see all 4 servers. So come over to manufacturer, click on 4 server, and now I'm seeing all 10 4 servers are out there, and they all happen to be new. So let me pick something else. I'll pick on Grand Design. There you go. So these drop downs are what we call filters. And then the last thing you can do is you can sort it. So I have it filtered by Grand Design. I'm going to left click on brand, and that's going to put it in a to Z order. Now, if I click on brand again, that will reverse the sort order. So T is on top. I click on it again, I is on top. So any field like list price, I click on list price one time, the lowest to the highest. I click on it again, highest price to lowest price. Right here, I want to see just fifth wheels under the Grand Design. And I'm assuming 5WH is hauler, so I'll do fifth wheel. So here I now have Grand Design Grand Design fifth wheels. And I can see the least expensive Grand Design fifth wheel I have is $32,900. I can see the most expensive fifth wheel I have is $138,000. So just kind of play with it a little bit. These things allow you to filter, but you can't save a filter, by the way. I'm sure somebody's thinking already, can I hit save now and filter that? No, you can save the configuration, but you can't save filters, which is a good idea. The last 2 things I want to point out is these are good fields here: the age and the status. Anybody new with our company or new with your company, you may not know it, but each unit has 5 statuses. A is available, O is on order, SA is sold available, SO sold on order. There's a 5th status called FS, final sold, which you wouldn't need to see. Otherwise, you only need to see what you could sell. So A and O means it's available for sale. SA means somebody's taking a deposit on it. And SO means somebody's taken a deposit on an ordered unit. And the last one I'd like to point out is this age one. This is really good for filtering, so you can see your oldest unit in the lot. So like your oldest unit is this Solitude 390 RK that is 281 days old. So that's sometimes very helpful to see. But now that I have this, I'm going to close it. I relaunch my steering wheel again, and I go back to the same mark view, and however I set it is how it's set. And so play with it. It's a very useful tool. As you notice, as you click on units, in the bottom, you see more information about the units, what work orders are outstanding, what manufacturer options would it come with. And then last but not least, you can always double click on a particular coach and it will open it up, and then you see whatever you need to see in that coach. So I will close that up, a little bit off base of CRM, but it's something you can launch from CRM. And then last but not least, to show you this one right next to the product windows, you can see all your deliveries. Actually, there's two places you can see deliveries. This one you probably won't use much, but you can. And this will show you all the your delivery dates. Now, more than likely, there's a very good shot that you use an Excel spreadsheet or maybe Outlook or a Google Calendar for your delivery appointments, so you know when they are. And I don't imagine you guys will change too quick to this, but you may. Just realize it's there. And if your company ever decides to go to using the IDS delivery calendar, it's already built in, it already functions, and all I'm doing is showing you where it's at in case you ever use it. And what I said, you may not use this one very much. The more popular one, I'm going to minimize this window, is the delivery calendar launched from the main window when you log in. That one, just bam, it just shows you all the deliveries in a few seconds here. So more than likely, that is the one. The difference is this one's showing all deliveries, whereas that one I showed you previously is just showing you your deliveries. So again, I don't think you guys are using this, but it is there. It does work, and you may use it at some point in time. My job today is just show you where to access it from if you need it. Okay, let me go back. All right, now we're finally going to get to CRM. And maybe you are. Okay, I'm going to close that window because she's being persnickety. And launch CRM again. And go to my window. So this is the default window. And again, I'm speaking specifically to staff, or sorry, sales staff. What you're seeing here, and hopefully everyone heard of CRM before, but this is your CRM. This is your open opportunities. And just so you know, opportunities has several different ways of referring to it. Some people refer to opportunities as opportunities. Some people refer to them as sales opportunities. Some refer to it as customer wants. Some refer to customer looking for. Some refer to opportunities as customer worksheet. They're all the same. So this is going to be all the people that you've encountered, that you've recorded who they are, and you recorded what they want. What they want will be sitting right here. Actually, what this will be sitting is this will show a pie chart, and you'll see it in a little bit of what various stages you're at with those opportunities. Here is going to be a grid view of that, and it's kind of hard to impress you with no data, so that's why we're fixing to hit some data real quick. I'm kind of giving you an overview right now. Down here will be all your follow-ups due in the next 7 days. Down here, kind of for research purposes, any follow-ups you've completed will be sitting down here. So I talked to this guy 2 weeks ago. Who was that? Well, you come down here, you maximize the bad boy, you look at whoever it is, and then you figure out who you called 2 weeks ago. So that's kind of used for research, I guess. Up here, this is going to show all appointments that you create because you talked to John Brown and you set an appointment with John Brown, or that BDC creates for you. Now, don't totally quote me on this, but I'm fairly accurate on this. What's going to happen is BDC, first of all, nothing's changing. So let me preface with that. BDC is going to work with the client from the web, or if I understood it properly, from phone also. And put it this way, when they work with whoever they normally work with, that's not changing. So whoever that is, when they create an appointment for that customer, they're going to hand it off to the store manager, and then that GM is going to determine who is the best person to work that. When he determines it's salesman A and he assigns it to salesman A, it will appear here. Actually, a couple things will happen. When so from the BDC department to the sales manager, and of course, this is a work in progress. So if anybody has better processes, get with Andres or whoever the power to be if you question the process. But I'm sure it's going to be massaged a little bit. But anyway, as of as of right now, as far as I know it, BDC to sales manager to salesman. So you salesman, when an appointment is assigned to you, two things will happen. One, you're going to get an email saying you have a new appointment. And two, when you come in here, you're going to see that appointment and you'll see what date it is and all that kind of good stuff when they're coming in. So with that being said, I don't want to overcomplicate it. I want to jump right into entering somebody in the system. And we're going to enter somebody that's already in the system and somebody that's not in the system. That's only two things. People are either in there or they're not in there. So I'm going to go to action. I'm going to go to contact. And I'm going to type in a first name. So I'm going to type in Clark Cannon. Now, we actually are right now still searching. I don't know if Clark Cannon is in the system or not. Now, I'm going to hit view possible matches, and I want you to look at the window that pops up. You must specify at least one of the following to check for possible matches: email address, last name with a home or mobile number, or an address with a zip code. So for me to check if Clark Cannon's in there, I have to satisfy one of those items there. So I'll put in email address. Cannon@hotmail.com. View possible matches. I see that if you found somebody, it would be here. There's nobody here. I click OK, and then you just carry on your Marybook way and fill in what you know. So let me do that. Again, you fill in what you have. So 123 Green Street. Hopefully all of this will be fairly straightforward. And but if you have any questions, I keep looking at my chat window, so I'll stop there. I'm hitting tab. That's how you navigate between fields. So I'm in Dow address line 2. That is for apartment 102, suite 104, whatever address line 2 is. When I hit tab now, it's actually going to skip city and it's going to go down to postal. And if you put in a valid zip code, when you hit tab, it will backfill the city and state for you, including a properly formatted Canadian postal address. If you put that in, it will backfill the city and the province that it comes into. After that, we have Canada Hotmail. You have a secondary email address if that's the case. Be very mindful of this next thing. We're allowing you to put in 3 different phone numbers: home, cell, or work. And a lot of us got in the habit of putting all phone numbers, no matter what we were given. We always put it in the home phone field, or we always put it in the cell phone field. Well, now it's very important to put it in the right field, because if you guys go with Podium or Connect, that's 2 of our partners right now that you'll be able to text with. Those programs will only look to the cell phone field for texting. So please if it's a home phone, put it in the home phone field. If it's a cell phone, put it in the cell phone field. And if it's a work phone, put it in the work phone field. Put it where it should go. So 10 digits only. When I hit tab, it will format it for you. If you put dots or dashes in there, go for it, but it still change it to the format you're looking here. Spouse, and so let's say Clark has a spouse of Susan. I'll put it here. And this is kind of extra. You don't have to do it, but say that you want to. Say you have your camera and the customers are leaving, and you say, "Hey, can I take a picture of you guys before you You hit the road next to the coach you're looking at, and they agree. So they take a picture, and you say hasta luego. Then when you come in, take your phone, attach it to your computer, hit the plus sign, navigate to wherever your pictures are at. And I don't have any pictures. Surely I have some pictures on my computer. Oh, well, I have no pictures on my computer. So let me grab a, oh, there you go. So this is obviously not a customer's picture, it's a logo, but it will serve my purpose. So that picture would be sitting right down there for you to remember what the customers look like, again, if you want to. The only two fields I haven't explained yet are up here, the greet as or the entity. The greet as is the informal way to greet a customer in an email or a letter. So my name is Clark, but call me Bubba. So put Bubba there. Or my name is Clark, but call me Colonel Cannon. However the individual wants to be greeted in an email or letter is how you put it here. And if you are dealing with a spouse, it would be good to put her in a letter too, or in the greeting. So then it would come out, Dear Clark and Susan, or Dear Bubba and Susan, or however you want to have it. This is what's going to be put in the emails or letters that we have for you on our CRM. The entity name over here, generally speaking, check with your finance manager, but what he wants to use this or not use this. But this is for, hey, my name's Clark Cannon, but I want this titled in ABC Motor Cars. Entity name ABC Motor Cars or Clark LLC or whatever they want differently. So if they want it titled in a different name than theirs, put it in there, or leave it blank. Don't put anything in there. Okay, over here is contact comments. So I'm clicking right there, and I'll type in retired. By the way, everything else you should do in uppercase, but in your comments, I would do upper and lowercase. Sergeant, 3 grandchildren. And the only reason I'm doing this a little bit here is that we have comments available for you in the contact screen, but we also have them available in the opportunity screen. So most salespeople I work with try to keep the comments within the contact screen about the contact and use the comments in the opportunity screen about the opportunity, which I'm fixing to show you. So I'm going to hit save. That's our save button up here. And when you do that, if you can kind of watch right here, you're going to see the customer number shows up. And then this is how you can draw on some of the follow-ups that we'll be talking about when we get to the follow-ups. We do also have follow-up schedules, a walk-in series and lost sales series and so forth. I will show you those also. But let's say that in this instance, that Clark was a walk-in. So I'm going to go ahead and I want to record my traffic. So walk-in traffic task. So Clark Cannon was a walk-in, and I just put his information in, and I'm signing that task. So, and I'll let that sit there because this is the last thing we'll cover today is the follow-up activities, but this is where you would put it in. So, couple things that you're looking at the screen now. This is the contact screen. If Clark Cannon, using this email address, sends in a web lead 2 months from now, that web lead is going to be auto matched to this contact and will be listed right down here. So if he sends in 5 leads in the next 10 months with that email address, I'm emphasizing with that email address, then all 5 of those leads will be listing right down here. Everything with Clark Cannon will be in the contact screen. Your open activities, what you're going to see is any open tasks that you need to complete, which again, we'll talk about that at the end. And history, sorry, this is what's open and this is what you completed. Quotes, once you quote a customer, any sales quote or F&I quotes will be right here. Message history, this is coming from your marketing department. If the marketing department for your company sends out any emails, it will come right here. Purchases, there's 2 things here. If he buys something from you, then that thing is going to be listed right down here. and it will also be listed up here. Now, if he didn't buy from you, you can actually enter a new unit. So let's say that Clark Cannon bought another coach from a competitor, and he's now in process of buying a new coach. Well, I'm going to hit this steering wheel, and I'll come up here, and let's just say he bought a travel trailer from somebody else, so a Forest River. Wow, I thought Forest River would be automatically in there. It's not. Okay. Well, that's right. It's a competitor. Forest River Vibe 2020 25 RK 29.6. Ooh. And you'll get used to these after a while. Like I thought, for instance, that it would format it 25 foot, 6 inches, but it didn't. So 29 foot, a single comma, yep, and 6 inches, and then that will format it for me. Layout and so forth. Fill in what you know. So you fill in everything you want to fill in, and you can put comments about what he owns, and then you hit save, and then that will be stored right here. Now, if Clark Cannon purchases from you, then that purchase will be put down here when accounting posts the sale. And last but not least, this is when Clark Cannon was created, and this is when he's last modified. And down over here, you probably won't mess with these too much, but if Clark Cannon ever opts out of any of your marketing emails, when he opts out, it will write back to this record and check that box, do not bulk email anymore. But that'll be done behind the scenes for you. There's not a lot you have to do with that one. Okay, I'm going to hit save, and I actually haven't made any changes. That's why the save button is still grayed out. So let's kind of review. I found the icon on my desktop. I clicked right there. That brought up the G2 Navigator. I made sure I was in the sales module. Then I clicked on Launch CRM, which brought up the CRM window, which brought us to here. Let me drag it down a little bit. Hopefully you can see it. That brought this window right here. And then in this scenario for today's training, I had used an example of Clark Cannon. I went to Actions. I clicked on Contact. When I clicked on Contact, it brought up this screen here. I put in a first name, a last name, and then something to search with, then hit View Possible Matches. And we are going to do one that was what happens when you find somebody, so we will cover that. And then we filled in what we know. So the contact screen is who they are. Now let's talk about recording what they want. So under Action, and you'll find that I'll be going to Action menu very frequently, is now I'm going to add the opportunity. So add opportunity. This will bring up the opportunity window. And let's just say he is looking for a 25-21, and I like the vibes, so I'll put that one there, but he's looking for a 26 RL. And say he's looking at another brand, and it's a 31 RK. You can put multiple brands up here. The opportunity name is a very robust searching field. If I type in 2021, I can find this. I type in Vibe, I type in 26 RL, I type in 31 RK. I would find this opportunity very quickly. So kind of play with this, but a good best practice out of the gate is year, make, model of what the people are looking for. And then you can put other things in here. I did have once when I was on site, the sales lady asked, well, the guy told me he wants the big trader, and that's all he told me. He didn't tell me anything else. So what should I put there? And I said, big trader. However you want to search for the guy is what you want to put in the opportunity name. Source, this is the marketing source, which should be very helpful, which your management will insist. In fact, they have insisted. That's why you see the required buttons here, that they want you to capture that. So there's about 5 different listings, and I'll go over each one. So if they're a walk-in, you click on walk-in, and then you select what of those sources appropriate. Now, you choose other if none of these are correct. But if we find for walk-ins, we choose other quite a bit, we need to add to the selection. So currently, this is what's set up from what I gather of your company. So I think I've got a good setup here. But when they're walk-in, you choose one of these. If they're missing something, then by all means, we're going to add it. So they are a arbitrator. So that's how Clark Cannon found your dealership. Or if they were a phone in, which would be basically the same list, what drove him to find in. And again, the same logic. If I'm missing something under the phone in category, let's find out what it is and add it to this list. Okay. Media, social, same logic. Which one of these fits the bill? And again, we add to it as we need to. And show event. Whenever we start to go back to shows again, we actually don't need this selection right here. Probably don't need rally or show. But we'll actually list your codes, like your Houston show. Maybe we'll put in HOU. I think Houston has 2 shows, one in the summer, one in the fall, maybe. Like HOU 21 fall, then HOU 21 spring, or whatever. So you would click on show event, and then you would select the appropriate code for the show, and that way you know how many opportunities came from your different shows. But hopefully you're seeing these 2 fields are tied together. Whatever you select here under type dictates what you see down here. So for website, the only one I think I'm missing is Keystone. But again, watch these lists. They should grow as I get with Andres, I get with Kevin, I get your sales managers. Probably within the next 2 or 3 weeks, probably not that long, you'll see things getting tweaked as everyone understands what goes where, and as we tweak it and add it, and hopefully everything gets better. But anyway, if it's a web lead, they would come here. And what else we had? Other would be like your drive-by, your friend, relative, recommendation, customer referral, and again, the reason for other is it's better to have no data than bad data. If we didn't have this combination, then you would be forced to choose something because it's a required field, and so your boss might think the radio ad did it for you, but you didn't know what to select. So the reason for other is when you flat out don't know, then choose other. So that takes care of the top half down here. Here is kind of hopefully very self-explanatory items of what the customer is looking for. So new or used, you can check multiple. They're looking for a travel trailer. They're looking for a what? Boom. Bottom line, choose what you want to choose for the unit travel the customer likes. And this is table driven, and that's where the opportunity is very flexible for searching, because that is you can type in what you want to. Over here, year 2019 to 2021, list price 50,000 to 100,000, length 25 foot to 35 foot. Hopefully that's a very self-explanatory field right here. You can always search inventory. Let me change this to nothing here. So maybe you're working with a customer right now and he says, hey, we're looking for a new used travel trailer 2019 to 2021. Well, if you hit that button right here, and in just a few magical seconds, you'll have 509 units showing up that match that criteria. And the beauty of this is that you're seeing it's live, it's actual data here. Now let's just say that you only want to see the Houston stores. Change it to that, hit search. There's only 262 at the Houston store that matched it, which is that location over here. So anyway, this is a very, very nice screen to have pop up. And so they want to have that unit right here. I'm doing a Control C to copy to my clipboard. They like that unit. I come down here, I type it, paste it in here, hit tab, and that brought that unit in, and I have that unit that the guy's looking for. So play with that a little bit, kind of get used to it. This box, I have no idea when anyone would ever uncheck this box. But the nice thing about this is, say I don't close the guy on this unit. So depending on how you want it configured, but when a unit comes in that matches what you put here, you'll get an email saying, hey, you got 6 customers looking for that trade that just came in or that used unit you just bought. So again, could you uncheck this and not get an email concerning this opportunity? Yes, you could, but I have no idea when anyone would ever uncheck that box. Okay, moving down here. And again, I'm watching my chat button. So if anybody wants to chat and say, hold on a second, I'll stop and I'll hold on a second. Okay, down here, just kind of like what it says, additional information is when do they plan to pull the trigger? When they plan on doing something? Hey, they're going to do something by the end of the month. So I'll put the 30th there. Stage, if you notice, is mandatory. So, and what that means is, where did you leave it with them? Now, if you create this appointment, sorry, this opportunity, then you'll use prospects actively working, gave a quote, got a deposit, we delivered it, and I apologize, that bottom one will go away. I just noticed that. So let's say you gave him a deposit. No, take it back. Let's just say you're actively working the guy, or you're prospecting. However you left it with them, this is what this stage means. Where did you leave it at? Now, if the BDC department creates a appointment for you or creates this opportunity and an appointment, they are going to put it at BDC appointment made. That's the stage that it's at right now. So that's there for them. I don't think you guys would use it as a sales department. But again, things can change after a while. But that's what that stage is for. So when BDC gets a lead, they convert it into a contact and opportunity, and they get that lead to an appointment phase, they're going to change the status of the opportunity to a BDC appointment made. Over here, what's the guy going to spend? He wants to spend about $75,000. Hopefully this is fairly standard in how you've been thinking, but this opportunity, hot, generally means they're going to buy. They're going to buy within the next 6 months. May not be buying from me, but they're going to buy a coach in the next 6 months. Warm, I'm working them. Cold, I'm prospecting them. So that's your ways to bucketize them. So make sure you put, I would only reserve the hot for anybody that you feel is going to buy a coach. And again, whether they buy a coach from you or not really that's not the question here. The question is, are they going to buy something? And if they are, I'd have them hot. Anybody you're just working that you don't have that good feeling about, mark them warm or cold. Down here, we have kind of 3 user-defined fields. He's got an F-150. His towing capacity is 7,600 pounds. He's got the EcoBoost, and he wants to be at $550 a month. So hopefully those are fairly straightforward items there. Trade-in is your trade-in down here. Your basic information, so 2010 Travel Trader Award 23RK, bad floor, whatever you want to put about that. And then here are the comments I was talking about that are about the opportunity. The comments in the contact we put in originally, by the way, I went to the tab up here. I clicked on the contact tab. The comments here generally are used for items about the contact himself, the comments within the opportunity. Wife does not wet bath. Need max air, whatever you want to put. So anything about the content, needs to sell their car first, needs to sell something first, but the comments here can be about the opportunity. So you fill in what you have, and I'm going to hit the save button up here. And now we have the opportunity. And if we go back to the contact, if you can see how it's kind of blank right here, no records found. Let me hit the the refresh button, and then bam, we have the opportunity within the contact itself. After that, a good mantra or a good saying is, why on heck would you ever take the time to enter in Clark's information here and then enter in what he wants and then not create a follow-up? So generally speaking, every time you enter something in the system, you should always be creating the contact, who they are, the opportunity, what they want, and creating a follow-up to call them. So I'm clicking here on the phone number, and that will bring up our follow-up screen. Call in 3 days about something. Whatever reason you put down, you're going to call the guy. And we do have a date picker. So I can pick, I want to call him Saturday morning. You have a time picker. I can type in 9 a.m. and hit save. So I now have my, I'm clicking on these tabs at the top here in the upper left-hand corner. I'm going to click on the contact tab. How do I know it's the contact tab? Because of the red jacket. How do I know this is the opportunity tab? Because I see the little magnifying glass. And then the activity one has a icon I can't describe. So the contact is who they are. The opportunity is what they want. And the activity is your scheduled activity. So I'm going to close these last two tabs here to show you where they're stored at. Where they're stored at is the opportunity is stored right here. If I ever need to update this opportunity, I just hit the edit button, and that will bring my opportunity right back up to change what I want. I'm going to close the tab. If I want to look at all my open follow-ups, I come over here to open activities, and now I have two: the tasks that we did earlier, and then my call in 3 days, which you look over here, this is when they're due. Now I'm going to go ahead and close this one. Now everything we did started populating my home screen here. So let me hit refresh. And here is my opportunity. Right now it's at, let me change that BDC, because BDC didn't make the appointment for me. So let me put them at, I'm actively working them. I'll hit save, close, and then we hit refresh again. So all my opportunities, which is a big one, I have, it's actively working. So you're going to see I've got 6 actively working, 5 appointments from BDC, and 2 that I gave deposits to. So you kind of see a pipeline sitting right here in a pie chart as we do more and more and more. So that's the graphical view of your open opportunities. On this right-hand side, same data, but in a grid form. You'll just see individual items here of whoever you're working with, who you are, when it was created, what did you rate them, and where are you at with a customer right now. Down here, if you notice, we have our my follow-ups are just starting to populate because I'm looking at all follow-ups in the next 7 days. And then over here, again, I'm not sure how you'll use it as a salesman, but for darn sure, what you'll see populating here will be your BDC appointments. Now, I would advise that salespeople use it for your appointments also, so you see both in here. But for darn sure, you're going to see the BDC appointments as they create them will just pop in here for you automatically. And then down here is all the contacts in the system listed under your name. And again, I'm IDS admin. That's why that owner name is right there. So that's pretty much it. Let me kind of go all the way back, or kind of all the way back. We started with clicking on this icon. That brought up a window for logon window. When I logged on, brought this screen up. I clicked on Launch CRM. This is my home screen. I got here, had my coffee. Clark Cannon came in. After he left, or whenever I wanted to, I clicked on Contact. That brought up this screen. And then I found, I typed in his name. So now, I was salesman A. Let's say I'm salesman B now, and salesman A is off, and Clark comes back in again, and I try to enter him again. So I do the same thing, Clark Cannon, and I put in here cannon@hotmail.com. Now, hopefully, if our system is working properly, when I hit this button, last time it said no matches found. Hopefully, it's going to say something's found. And it did. So the matches found button is right here. And I actually did that too quick. So I apologize. Let me start again. Okay, first of all, you saw me put him in this first time, and there wasn't a match. Okay, now this is 2 weeks later, and he's talking to a different salesman. So again, same place, contact. Canon and Canon at hotmail.com and view possible matches. So I think this is a good best practice. Take this window, I'm left clicking and holding, drag it down so you can see it and the contact string. And then look, say, okay, is this person I'm entering, is the phone number the same? He hasn't given me a phone number yet. Is the email address the same? Yep, the email address is the same. Yep, more than likely this match down here is the same person, and you can see over here who um, originally entered them in the system. So if this is a match, then all you'll do is take this one and hit OK, and then hit cancel, and then go back into the other contact. Actually, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. Let me hit view possible matches. So I agree with the system in this scenario. I agree with the system. This is a match. So just merely click on this hyperlink. That's going to create another window up here. And this one's going to be the filled out one. This is the one I started. And then I hit view possible matches. This is the one that was here 2 weeks ago. So I don't need this one anymore. It served its purpose. It allowed me to search. I found somebody. I hit X here. Do you want to save your changes? Nope. And then this is the Clark Cannon that was entered in there 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to do that. If you don't mind, I want to do it slowly one more time. Clark Cannon was entered in on January 1st. Clark Cannon comes in on February 1st, talks to somebody different. That somebody different goes to contact, types in Cannon, because again, they want to search first to see if he's in the system. Okay, again, I'm salesman B. Oh, shoot, he's in the system? Oh, he's already talked to somebody else. Dang it. Oh, well, I'll work him now. The other guy's not here today. So I click on that hyperlink. That brought the customer up. I take the one that I've started that I use for searching, and I close it. I say no to save changes. And then I help Mr. Cannon and do what I want to do. And whatever your rules are in place for working somebody else's contact is whatever your rules are, but at least he's in the system. There is no benefit of entering in duplicate customers in the system. There's just no benefit for it. So let me kind of pause for a second. And before I go on to the follow-ups in more detail, does anybody have any questions on what I've done? If you figured out how to unmute yourself, you can, or if you want to use the chat window, let me be quiet for a second. Okay, sounds like we're having a moment of prayer. Okay, okay, so no questions. Let me talk about the different follow-ups that you have available to you. Now, first of all, when I created him, I also originally, way back at the beginning of this call, I created this walk-in traffic task. What is that? That's a way of counting your traffic. So let me get rid of this one real quick for this argument's sake. So all we have now is the walk-in traffic task. Hopefully you can see that. We have 3 different types of traffic to keep track of: your walk-ins, your B-backs, and your phone ups. So this is your walk-in. Now, where is your walk-in? Sorry, your be back and your phone up. I'm going to action. By the way, action is where everything's at. Schedule follow-ups. And schedule follow-ups, we have the walk-in traffic, which is I already have. I have the phone up traffic task, which I'll choose. Now it's there. And I'll go to schedule follow-ups and I'll grab the be back one. Now, the way the system was written, you are a walk-in only once, you're a phone up only once. After that, you're always a be back. So what's that mean? Monday, let's just use Monday through Friday. Monday, I call in and you get my information, you put me in the system, and then you would create a phone up traffic task to record that traffic of me being a phone up. If I come in on Wednesday, again, y'all can change the definition I'm giving you now, but generally speaking, if I come in Wednesday and I look at stuff, then I'd still want to record the traffic, but it'd be a be back. I come in Friday, it would be a be back again. I come in next Monday again, it'd be a be back. So you can only be a walk-in or a phone up one time. After that, you're always a be back. But every time a client visits, you should execute one of these. Now, where do they go? Well, let me click right here and click on complete. So that traffic task went to history, recording that I was in on Monday. And it also went over here as a walk-in. So I can easily see my traffic is sitting right here. Now, this was Monday. Now it's magically Tuesday. And I come in again. Then I'd be a be back. Merely click the be back, click OK. Again, my be back history will be sitting right here. And again, that history will also be, I hit a refresh button at the top, right down here. So what I'm saying is this, after you have created a contact in the system, and at that point he's a walk-in or a be back, sorry, he's a walk-in or a phone up. After that, every time he comes in, let me do it one more time. And hit refresh here. Oh, go open. Now again, he can't be a phone up, but I'll do the phone up anyway just to show you the phone up works the same. So I'll click on phone up, check here, and now down here, when I hit refresh, I have all three of them. So every time from this day forth that Clark Cannon comes in, sometime that day, usually do it right now as immediate would be the best, but at some point, come up here, go to actions, schedule follow-ups, select the bottom one, click OK. That is going to be in your well, let me do it again. Actions, schedule follow-up, be back. Okay, there you go. So every time he comes in, you've got to go to the contact screen at some point that day and just create that task, hit complete, and then that will just put that task right down here in history that you're recording all your be backs, all your walk-ins, which is a tremendous way of prospecting because sometimes you just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to call all my be backs that came in with our be backs last week or last Friday or Saturday or whatever. Data is huge. And if you kind of keep it organized this way, I guarantee you no other dealerships are doing this. If you want to take your sales to something different, start taking care of the customers that are coming back to you. Obviously take care of everyone, but whatever. Okay. So that's the traffic task, and there is a separate video on strictly how to take the traffic task. The other items I want to cover in the follow-ups is as at this moment, there is no open follow-ups. I can create follow-ups one at a time. So let me do the phone. If I click here, I click on phone, and this is the phone follow-up. I put a date, and I hit save, I hit close, and now if I hit refresh, I have the phone sitting here. Now it's magically 4 days later. I call them up. I come up here. I bring up this phone call up. I put my notes from call here. I mark as complete. Again, if you notice, I went to action again. When in doubt, look for the action menu. I click on mark complete. That phone call is no longer here, even though you see it here. When I hit refresh, it will disappear from there. And I click on activity, it's over here. And that's my notes for my call. Email, if I click on the email, this will bring up our email template. Then over here, if I select 30-day email, and then that will bring in Dear Clark and Susan. That's what I put in the field. Thank you for visiting Hollywood. I really enjoyed getting to know you. Blah, 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 blah. You had that follow-up. So when you click on the email icon, can I do that slower? When you click on the icon, that will bring up the email follow-up. Down here under email templates, we have about 30 templates down here. Take a look at them, and I'm sure you'll tweak them a little bit and put in whatever you want. Select whichever one, and then send the customer an email. Okay, go ahead and get rid of that one. Then we have series, and it's going to take an aggressive salesperson or salespeople to do this one, but that's how you can create individual follow-ups for a customer. But you also have a series of follow-ups. So again, action, schedule follow-up, and this time I'm going to do the walk-in series. Now, somebody with your company built this, and when you use the walk-in series, it automatically creates 4 follow-ups. So what I would heavily suggest is each store, every sales manager get with his sales staff, and sales staff, you get with your sales manager, and say, hey, I want a series of follow-ups for walk-ins, a series of follow-ups for phone-ups, or whatever consistent thing you have coming in. Pre-build a follow-up schedule, so all you have to do, go ahead and delete these. So for you to adhere to that standard, hey, every walk-in, this is what we do. We send them an email when their butt hits the door saying, thank you for coming by. We send them another email next morning, and we call them that afternoon, and then we do something else 4 days later. Whatever that is. And that way, as a salesman, every walk-in, after they leave, you just come up here to action, schedule follow-up, select the series you're talking about. So walk in, hit OK, and it creates it for you. So I'm Mark Bergen with IDS. I truly want to be involved in everything that you guys will be doing with this over the next month or so. And all I really have to do is know what you want, and I'll work with. Y'all need a CRM admin. Again, Andres. I keep saying his name wrong. Beat myself for that. Andres. He's the project manager, and pre-build these things so you make the software work for you. Don't you work for the software? I don't want to overcomplicate things. As you do items, this email, if you open the email up, you like what it says, you just come up here and you hit send, and it sends the email to the customer. Generally speaking, most salespeople use our system to send these template type emails, but the normal emailing back and forth with the customer is through your Outlook. Now, from my conversation with Steve Sellers yesterday, he says that you all use Outlook. Can somebody in the chat window say yes or no? Does everyone use Outlook for their email? I'm doing a drum roll, waiting for the answer. No? Shoot. Okay. Does anyone, okay, thank you very much. Does anyone use Outlook for your email? Again, drum roll. Come on, somebody answer me. Yes or no? Does anybody use Outlook for your email? All right, you do. Okay. So then actually, Tracy, I'll ask you this question. Are you not using Outlook because you don't have the software program, or because you just like the one you're using more than Outlook? Do you use Outlook? Do you? God, I'm wording that badly. Tracy? Do you have the option to use Outlook? I'll word it that way. Does anybody know? Tracy's saying, or James is saying, he doesn't have the program. Does anybody know? Does your company will your company provide anyone and everyone with Outlook if they ask for it? Does anybody know the answer to that question? Okay. Didn't get an answer on that one. That's no big deal. The reason I'm asking that question, this is Tracy. I pay for my own Outlook. Okay. Not all salesmen have email set up. Well, let me show it to this way, and so you'll understand why in the heck I was asking that question. This is my Outlook you're looking at, and in my Outlook, let me make it bigger. I need to drag it off for a second. I'll try to drag it off. There you go. Okay, this is Clark Cannon, the contact. This is the activity history with Clark Cannon. So the reason I'm saying that is this, is if you use Outlook, any email sent from your Outlook or any email received in your Outlook will end up here in the contact history also. So if someone in your system, Tommy D, Tyler, Casey Bush, I'm seeing the yeses here. If you guys come in the morning, if you open up Outlook first, and then you open up G2, and you can minimize both after that, but when you come in, you open up Outlook first, then G2 second, then all day long, your emails sent from Outlook or received in Outlook will end up in the activity history of the contact you was sent to. Your Outlook will still work the same. Nothing changes in Outlook. All functionality has no impact on Outlook whatsoever. But behind the scenes, if you open up Outlook first in the morning, open up G2 second, and leave those two things running all day long, minimized, but running, then all day long, the system, our system, will search your Outlook and do matches and throw those correspondence within the history. So it's a very good advantage. Is it a deal breaker? No. If you don't want to use Outlook and you like what you're using better, go for it. You can make notes within the contact. It's just a very nice convenience, I'll say it that way, to have all of the history of your Outlook correspondence stored within a G2. That's just a function that it does, and I wanted to bring it up. And what if you haven't added the contact yet? Will it generate a contact? Nope. If you don't have the contact in G2, the contact is like here. What it's looking for when you open up Outlook, if you sent an email to Clark Cannon, then our system, it's going to look to our system and say, is that also in G2? And it looks for Clark Cannon with that email address. It doesn't find one. It doesn't do anything. But it does find a Clark Cannon with that email. Then it would copy itself over to the history folder. So yes, you have to have it in G2 first. Then the syncing between Outlook and G2 will happen. That, ladies and gentlemen, I knew that we wouldn't take that long, especially with the class. So you have 3 avenues of learning the CRM system. The first step was today, what we talked about, and the second step is the you should already have them. And if is there, okay, I'll ask this question on the chat then. Everyone should have received an email referencing the LMS, the Learning Center, the IDS Learning Center videos. If anyone did not get that email with those videos listed, let me know. or let me know now, however you want to do it. And I'll get you the link to those videos. And I see it a few times. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and send it again to everybody. So when I get done with this call, I'm going to send an email to everybody on this that got this invite, a link to the videos that you can refer. So your first step in learning CRM is today. Your second step is to refer or watch, up to you, the videos that I'll send you a link for. And your third step will be a recording that I'll send you again to everybody in this email of what we did today. So for this last hour and 15 minutes, you'll get a video that you can fast forward back and forth and watch on it. So that would be, that's your 3 steps. We have hit all the basics. Is there anything that you guys were looking for that you can type in the chat window that I didn't show you? Okay, so your job, should you choose to accept it, is to launch. Okay, first of all, I'll send another email. It's 3:15, so say by 4:15. Actually, it's an hour back because you're in Central Time. An hour from now. Within the hour, I'm going to send everybody an email that I sent this invite to, and you're going to now be set up, and I want you to try to log on to G2. If you're unable to log on to G2, if you would hit reply and say, Berggren, I was unable to log on to G2. What else? Okay, your job is to enter in your sold, not delivered. And what I mean by that is this. Everybody that you have sold, but you've not delivered yet, I want you to go to actions, contact, and put them in. Now, there is going to be a 98 to 99% chance you're going to find them when you click on view possible matches. Use the one that's already there. And then add the opportunity to it. If you will do that, you're accomplishing 2 things. 1, you're getting your sold not delivered in there, which have to be in there. And 2, you're learning how to use the system. Everybody I've ever trained, if they, by the time they put in their sold not delivered, that usually ferrets out of the question. So let me kind of show you what I'm talking about. So let me go to your deal file and get rid of that. Cap deals. Okay, so this person here, right here, somebody I can spell. All right, I can spell that one, Mahan. Okay, so Mahan here, just for example, whoever's person this one is. So Ken Mahan. What I'm asking you to do is come to your home manager, click on action, type in Ken Mahan, or whatever that person's name. Let me go back to my deal for a second. And Ken Mahan, let me go ahead and open him up. I need to get a phone number or email for the guy. That's why I'm doing that. And there you go. Let me type it down over here. Okay, his phone number is 469-573-4243. And again, I'm getting that from right up here. So what I'm asking you to do is to enter in a sold not delivered customer. You got to put in at least one field. So 469-573-4243. view possible matches. And it will view. Again, you're sold, not delivered, you're going to find them, which is kind of a good practice. So I now found him. I'm clicking on the hyperlink. I'm going to close the window that I started. I don't need it. I'm going to update whatever I need to update information-wise. If you have new information, update it. Then, what did Ken buy? Ken bought a 2021, let me write that down. 2021 Keystone Springdale 1800 VH. So I'm going to minimize that. I'm going to go ahead and add an opportunity to Ken. That's going to come up. I'm going to type in 2021 Keystone Springdale. And it was an 1800 VH. If you remember how he came in, please do this. The stock number that he bought, which was, wow, it's a weird stock number, which was SD T21291. So go back here to my opportunity. Now, obviously, if you had this information right in front of you, it'd be easier. Put that in. And I must have messed something up. SDOT. I put a 7 in there. Sorry about that. Minimize. And so create or not search for Ken Mahan or your tool not delivered. Then once you update the information, click on add opportunity, which will bring up this screen. Year, make, model. If you remember this, put this in. You will have this because it's a sold not delivered. Put this in. If it's an on order unit, then you wouldn't have this, but you could fill this in. Where you're at. I'm assuming all these sold not delivered will have a customer deposit. I would make them all hot because they're sold. And if you know this information, put this in. If you know the trade, you put that in. And that's about it. The only thing else I need is not really. And they hit save. Oh, is the owner. Okay, right now, I'm the owner of this opportunity because I created it, but obviously I am not the one that sold him. Who sold him? It was salesman MWM. Let me go ahead and open it up. And salesman's tab. Michael William McCall. Let me go ahead and search McCall. So I'm going to reassign this opportunity. So Mr. McCall, whoever you are, I did this for you. And Mr. Mitchell, you won't have to do this because when you create it, your name will be at the bottom of it. Right here. Click OK. And yep. And yep. Okay, close it. Okay, it got that right there. Hitting refresh. It didn't change it. I apologize. Let me do it one more time. Reassign. MMC. Well, I spelled the name wrong. Apologize. Take the elevator down. Gonna try to reassign it one more time. I'm not sure what I didn't do right, but and of course now I can't see Mr. McCall. Come on, baby. There you go. Okay, there he goes. Okay, yes, I do. Okay, evidently I have permission issues, which I shouldn't have, but I do. So Mr. McCall, if you're listening, that will be assigned to you shortly when I figure out what I'm doing wrong. But again, you won't have that issue because your name will be there. So, dang it, I really wanted to change that though. Why can't I change? Okay, I won't waste time on that. So, but what would happen is now McCall would be on his screen. So your job is to go ahead and create all your sold not delivered. And if you have an issue with that at all, if you have any questions on how doing that, please send me an email. But that's it. So my job, as soon as I hang up with you, is I'm going to make sure that you have access to the system as far as permissions. And then I'll send you an email, and that'll be one email. The second email I'm going to send you is a link to all the videos that are for you. And other than that, you have my email address. Send me an email. I sent the tomorrow's meeting and Friday's meeting is going to be the same. I wasn't told it's a bad thing, so I don't think it is. If you want to attend Thursday's meeting or Friday's meeting, it'll be the same one. But send me an email and I'll send you an invite for those meetings, whichever day you want. And if you wanted to sit through this again, and you've been an officer and gentleman and ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much and look forward to working with you. That's all I got. Y'all take care.